The Fall, A Story of Hope by Joanna Catherine Stasiak. Prologue. The long wooden raft, its lone sail lowered, glided along the marshy shoals at the inlet from the mist-shrouded river. Standing at its prow, a cloaked figure guided the Wookiee boatman between the rocks toward the strand, as if knowing the place by heart. These were the final days before the fall of the noble and just Jedi Order, whose selfless ranks fought for peace and justice across the galaxy for so many centuries since the dawn of the Republic. The Separatist and fringe elements still threatened the weak and the defenseless. The Clone Wars raged across many systems and devastated countless worlds, although it was rumored that an end to the conflict was imminent. The omens of these last days emerged through the mist of smoke and ash that engulfed the canopies of the great Rasher trees. Great dark fish of the deep flung themselves out of the rivers and onto the sand, as if the water itself had been poisoned. In the air, flocks of birds flew swift along the twisting roads at the edge of the marshy strand that led to the great Wookiee city of Kashyyyk that was made up of several inhabited Rasher trees, most notably the tree Kashyyyk and the tree Vikilin. The great Wookiee shamans and high priests cried out in alarm in sight of these ominous signs, fearing ruin to their world and their way of life. Indeed, as to confirm their fears, the rogue Jedi Count Dooku would order the Confederate armies to attack the planet, bringing much turmoil and devastation to this temperate jungle world. Atop the guard tower overseeing the Wawat Lagoon, where the rocks framing the island flattened like great altars, fearless Wookiee soldiers stood vigil along white-armored clone troopers. In this time of war, when the great black forest burned and numerous local settlements had fallen, the spirits of the defenders burned brighter still, warmed by the presence of a diminutive yet tenacious Jedi Master. He had come to Kashyyyk to take command and bring hope, both of which he had done admirably and without delay. The native inhabitants of the planet were great friends to the Jedi Master. Through his shrewd leadership, the Wookiees rallied against the enemy and stood their ground. The Separatists would have to fight them for every inch of Kashyyyk at great cost to their own numbers. Soon, the natives would claim the upper hand, and all of it, so it would be said, could be laid at the feet of one unassuming, mysterious Jedi whose name, Spetbaka, was repeated by all who fought under his banner. The name simply meant, revered friend. That Jedi was Yoda. Many an enemy scowled as the name was spoken. To them, he was known to be unnatural, a demon, a spirit of wrath rising from the miasma. Some believed him to be a deathless creature that had lived through many millennia. Still others thought him the very embodiment of the ancient religion known as the Force. A great price had been set upon the Jedi Master's head, as well as upon the weapon he had wielded in battle, for it was whispered that it was the weapon that gave him many times the power he already possessed. Disarming him would make it easier for the Separatists to overwhelm and bring down the hated foe. And yet, precious few knew anything more than the face and the prowess of Yoda. His origins and species were shrouded in complete obscurity. By legend, he was a formidable creature, a holy mystic of the light side, clad only in simple, rough-spun robes, wielding the Force like an impenetrable aegis about him. The Wookiee younglings, reared on this legend, imagined him as a warrior phantom in the form of a little green man. Yet he would not be the only one of his kind to come to the Wookiees' much-needed aid. In the days that followed, more Jedi would appear in the Wawat archipelago, the great city of Kashyyyk welcoming them with ale and song, the latter flowing steadily through the majestic shimmer of its two greatest trees. It was to this craggy shore that a stranger and her companion arrived, cloaked in the comforting darkness of the night.